Hi, this is Ted Dhanik, CEO of Engage BDR, otherwise known as EN1 on the ASX. Today I'd like to discuss the Form 4C, which is being filed today, and some of the other activities that have happened since the close of the year, December 31st. The Form 4C will show that the cash balance was in the six-figure range, and the difference between that and cash balance today is significant. The difference between the cash balance at the end of the month or quarter, or for this situation, the end of the year, December 31, and the revenue recognized is great just because the gap is 60 to 90 days. The lag in collections is pretty big. So we typically deploy all of our cash in the beginning of the quarter to generate as much revenue as possible because we have to prepay publishers for that media. And the cash doesn't come back till much later in the next quarter, potentially. So that's the difference. You'll find that the difference between receipts and revenue is different, and also the cash balance is low as a result of us deploying as much cash as we can to get as much revenue in the door. Every dollar of our deployed capital is potentially $2 in revenue. So it's quite significant from that standpoint. So if you have $1 million in the quarter, in the beginning of the quarter, you want to deploy it because it's potentially worth $2 million in revenue. We raised money in November, that's $750,000 US, or about $1 million Australian, essentially to prepay publishers to deploy that cash. As soon as we got the cash, we deployed it, and it is on its way back in as of now. Some new developments. We had a raise that we concluded last week. It was an equity raise. It was about 702,000 Australian dollars. And the reason for that amount was we wanted to have a little bit of cash to be able to prepay publishers and essentially increase revenue for the quarter. January is usually the worst revenue month for companies in the advertising space. Not just digital advertising, but kind of every type of advertising and historically. And the reason why is because publishers have received tons of cash from advertisers in the fourth quarter, which was the quarter ending in December, and that's usually the biggest quarter for advertisers, assuming you have enough cash to prepay the publishers in the digital media space, essentially. So January being light on revenue, we decided to raise a little bit of cash to help us prepay and have some incremental revenue for the month. And also for the quarter, we could recycle that cash and turn it into more, essentially. And then we concluded a raise yesterday of about 1.1 million Australian dollars, or about 800,000 US dollars, up to another 5.8 million US dollars, or 8.15 million Australian dollars. This is the same lender that funded us in November. So we received about $1 million from them Australian in November, receiving about 1.1 million from them now. That's 2 tranches already, and then we have another availability for 6. So that enables us to have a significant raise north of 9 million Australian dollars essentially on this line. That provides significant working capital and the ability for us to prepay publishers. Since the last announcement in 2018, we talked a little bit about operating expenses being shaved down significantly. So in that month, or the couple weeks leading up to that month, we were successfully able to cut our operating expenses down 53% from the previous fourth quarter, which is very exciting and fantastic. And that means that we should be able to become profitable soon, potentially. That's the idea. Having low operating expenses enables us to beat that with the gross profit that we're enjoying currently. Our margins are still 40 to 50%, and we expect the revenue to grow with the new capital that we just accessed, and we'll have the ability to access throughout the year. The strategy moving forward is to continually look at every expense and potentially renegotiate contracts with vendors, etc., and that'll help us keep the OpEx low. On the revenue side, we have a lot of really good traction as well. We announced some really strong integrations a couple weeks ago, and some traction on some integrations that we started to work on in Q3 and Q4 of last year, where the revenue potential was going to be about $100,000 USD a day. We have a lot more movement on those two fronts. We're still in validation and testing with those partners, and that they should be live soon. The 2 partners that we announced are live now. We have couple others also that we should be announcing very shortly. that are very close to the stage where we should let the market know, and we're excited about that as well, and we'll keep the market up to date. So to kind of close this video, we wanted to give the market enough information to make decisions on investing into the company, and the outcome of this video should give you a little bit more confidence that we have changed the cash balance since the 4C, which was the December 31st balance, as a result of collections and also as a result of capital raising. And so we have a very different picture today than we do that is illustrated on that 4C. Thank you for your time, and feel free to email me directly at info@en1.com. I look forward to your messages and the next video. Thank you so much.